days off, rookie camp, now training camp, preseason game yesterday. What's been the biggest lesson for you so far?
Yeah, obviously just the pace of play has been a big difference for sure. Obviously, rookie tournament there was a step up, and now with the big boys, it's even a bigger step. So, to keep up with them, it's an adjustment for sure. But I'm having fun, and it's really fun and exciting. So,
what's it like rubbing shoulders with some of the big guys, especially Leon and Connor? And are you asking a lot of questions around the group?
Yeah, I've talked to them a bit. Obviously, fanboying a little bit. Obviously, you watch them when you're growing up, or you just watch them when you're in junior. So, it's pretty special to be on the same ice and in the same vicinity of them, and I'm just soaking it all in.
You played on the biggest, most physical team in the WHL. Last night, you went on the corner a couple times with Logan Stanley. A little bit different experience maybe than some of the guys that you've played against in the Western League over the last couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, that Stanley guy reminds me of a guy like Matt Rampy, both 6'8". I like to throw the body around, but it's good. They're physical, and I'm a big boy. I can handle that. So, yeah.
How nervous were you last night, and what did you maybe do to calm those nerves?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous going in the game. It's a big crowd. Obviously, I haven't played in front of that many fans before, so that was definitely weird. But I think just for me, it was just to get those first two shifts out of the way, and I got a little bit more comfortable after that.
And a little power play time too. What did that do for maybe your confidence, or just kind of getting into the line from that way?
Yeah, it's a confidence booster for sure. Obviously, being a net front guy, it's a role that I want to play, and especially on the power play, it takes trust in the coaches to put you out there. So, it was pretty special.
What do you take away from this whole experience? The rookie camp, main camp, a couple preseason games.
Yeah, it just shows you what it takes to be at the pro level. Obviously, the first 3 strides is a big thing. The pace play. It's just learning what it takes and what I have to do to get here. So
that's pretty important, because they can talk about it all they want, but until you see it firsthand, you don't really get a sense of where you are and what you need to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can talk about it, but once you get the experience, then you can actually work on it. So.
Are you thinking that Seattle will have the best team in the Western League this year, since you got so close last year to beating the All-Cats?
Yeah, I think we're runner-up for the best team in the league. I think we're going to make it hard for the other teams to win it all. So, it's going to be special and very exciting for sure.
How much are you going to embrace a leadership role on that team this year?
Yeah, that'll be huge. Obviously, I want to step up into a leadership role and help the young guys out. I just want to be there for them and, be a role model for them.
Thanks, Reed.
Thanks, Reed.
Thank you.
Good trade sauce.
Just kind of get the rhythm, the timing back. You don't want to say dip your toe in or anything like that. You want to be playing hard, but after a few months off, there's nothing like playing in an NHL hockey game. And, there's no scrimmage or practice that's going to emulate that. So it's you do the best you can in practice and stuff, but nothing like getting out there in game action. So just trying to find your timing and keep up with the pace and kind of get that back.
You've been paired up with Phil basically since day one. Jay's talked about he likes the pairing. An opportunity for you to play with a young guy, very good skater. What have you seen from Phil? What do you like about playing with him? What do you think is going to give you guys success as a pair?
Yeah, I think Brooks is a guy who's obviously very highly talented. He was a high pick. He skates really well, thinks the game well, and I think it's a good opportunity for him this year. And I'm looking forward to playing with him, and I think you're going to see him develop and grow a lot here. And we've only been practicing together. Really, it's hard to get a full read until you get into games. So I think tonight will be a lot of fun for us to kind of get into the mix together.
You heard the veterans say that you got to know when you're playing with a young guy like that. You got to know when to say things to him and when not to say things to him. Is there some role in there for you to help this kid develop?
Oh yeah. I think I look back when I was young. I had guys that I played with that helped me develop, and whether the coach is hard on you and you're being a guy who's hey, don't worry about it, just keep playing kind of thing, or you're the guy that's got to hey, let's get going here. We need more out of you. So there's a there's a role to be had as an older guy, and you're helping a young guy along. And I'm certainly not a guy who comes down hard on guys, so I'll be more of an ear for him. But I'm really looking forward to it. He's a great player, and he's a good kid too.
Who's that guy for you in Colorado in the early days?
Yeah, I had a couple different ones. Yanni Hayda, Greg Zan, and Ryan O'Byrne was a fellow Vancouver Islander when I came in, and he really kind of took me under his wing. So lots of guys.
Can you give us a sense of the expectations of this team? Like, obviously, you get to the conference final last year, you retain the core. Evander's here all year long. You bring in Jack Campbell, Kulak's here. Kind of, how higher are the expectations this year within your group compared to even the previous two?
Yeah, I think from the outside looking in, the expectations have always been there. But I think that as a group, we really felt we took a step last year, and now we've kind of taken it off a pedestal, and we're right there. We're 8 wins away, and obviously didn't go the way we wanted in that Colorado series. I think it could have been tighter, but our expectations are. It should be no surprise. We want to win it this year. And with that being said, though, it starts with making the playoffs. You look around the league, teams are getting better. Teams that were missing the playoffs are, they think they're in a position to be back in there. So you got to take care of your business, to start the season and kind of set yourself off on the right foot. But we definitely have high expectations in our room.
How many games does a veteran want to play normally? You got 8, which is, yeah.
Yeah, 3 or 4 seems reasonable. 3, is good. I think.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. No, like I said, you want to get your timing back, and then if you don't feel like you're quite settled in, maybe you want an extra one. But you get 1, 2, 3 games in, you're feeling good. Then you want to stay healthy, getting into the real stuff.
Is there a line of communication? Does he say where you at, how you feeling, or do you just look at the sheet and hope you're not on it?
Well, I've never had Jay as a head coach in training camp before, so we'll see moving forward. But if I go out there and start throwing pizzas, he might want to see a couple more games out of me.
Not that you want to, I don't know how closely you guys follow, the rookie tournament. You guys were watching the game last night, and you are practicing against the guys before we started training camp. But you don't want to overreact to what, the push that's coming from some other guys. But do you notice when a guy like Holloway performs the way he did last night, or in that, did you see some of that even when you guys were doing the captain's skates before?
Yeah, totally. I think, as hockey players, you get on the ice with guys, and you can kind of tell who you're, guys are on the same page and, kind of up to that level. And I like to call him Hollywood. He's been buzzing, since he got here. So he had a heck of a game last night, and that's, not surprising to any of us in that room. And I thought Nemo played great last night too. So we're definitely watching, and it'll be fun to see who kind of steps up here.
Is it just you that calls him Hollywood, or the whole team?
I think it probably is just me at this point. Yeah.
Wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just to piggyback off of that, though, Tyson, Jay's message over the last couple of days has been how difficult it's going to be to represent the Oilers on opening night. When you have that internal competition, what does that do to the overall team accountability throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we're you look at the stage of where guys are at in their careers here and where the Oilers are at. It's it's like we just talked about. The expectations are there. They're we're in a room that's kind of demanding excellence, and we're expecting of ourselves and of each other. And there's no shortcuts. So it's an honor to be in that room, and for young guys coming up, it'd be an honor to get to make this team and put on a sweater. And there's. It's a great culture in there, though. It's a great atmosphere. So there's no, it's you make the team, or whether you're up and down, the whole thing. It's gonna be a great experience.
Tyson, when Niemelainen is a hitter, does every team need a defense? One guy on the defense for the other team's coming down on him, says, "Oh, you could drill this guy."
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you need it. I don't know, but it certainly is nice when you've got it in the lineup. I know if I was playing against Nemo, I'd certainly have my head up if I was out against him. He's coming, for sure. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
experience, and we think we've got a good lineup that's going to give us a chance to win tonight.
Schaefer, Phil, Hamlin, Vertanen, all getting games on back-to-back nights with Nima Line. Just a thought on that.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last night after the game. I just think training camp, you want to see people in different types of situations and how people handle things like going back to back, their ability to do that. I think it gives you some insight into them as a person, as a player. It's not an easy thing to do, especially in day 4, day 5 of training camp when your legs are really tight and whatnot. But I think we're going to learn something about those players being put in that situation today.
So Schaefer, I mean, it's an intimidating thing coming to an NHL camp. I mean, he's got a couple of games in. What have you seen from him, and what does he need to kind of address in the year?
Oh, I think he's left a good impression. I think he's a big man that, I'm impressed with some of the details in his game. I saw him track back hard a few times with good stick. While he's a big man, he's a young man, so he's got to figure out how to use that big body. I think he learned in a few situations there's a difference between junior strength and professional man strength in the National Hockey League. These are all great learning experiences for a young player like him. I think he showed well in Penticton, and he's carried it on here in the main camp.
Jay, Broberg, and Barry could be a possible combination on the back end for you come opening night. What kind of skill sets do they have that complement each other?
Well, Tice, I don't think gets enough credit for his defending skills, but he is someone who leads by talking to people. He's not afraid. He has juice. He comes to the rink. He's in the building when he gets there because he talks. I think that's good for a younger defenseman. I think you see in a lot of the pairs that we've had at the start of training camp, it's been one veteran and one younger player. I think as a starting point for those two, Philip, is a good all-round defenseman. He's got some length to him. He's got some size that he put on over the summertime. But we just think they complement each other. We're going to get to see him in a game tonight, so we're excited about it.
Jay, the Barry Kulak pairing was a pretty good one for you down the stretch. Do you foresee maybe giving them another look later in camp, just after you kind of let the dust settle?
Well, I think, the thing about training camp is it allows you time to experiment. We know that, right? We felt that last year. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a great pair again if we go to it. But we have some experience with that group as a D pairing, and I think training camp, especially early in training camp, you want to give people chances, see them in new positions. I thought the Kulak-Bouchard pairing last night was really good for us.
You were in Detroit when Cronwall was there.
Yep.
You were in San Jose when Doug Murray was there. Now you got this Nima Line kid who brings some of that stuff to the table. How much value do you put on having one guy in your back end that makes everybody nervous?
Well, I think those are two good comparisons too. All three of them have different body types, though. It's interesting. Cronwall is not a big man. He's actually very slight, but he had an impeccable sense of timing. Doug Murray was a huge man. He was probably 240 pounds, rock solid, though. And if you ran into him, you felt it. I think with Nima Leinen, what separates him is he's 6'6". He skates like the wind. He's able to close quickly. And he has a gift for that timing. I think when you have that type of element on your back end, it's a dimension that other teams have to game plan for. It's a little bit of snarl, a little bit of bite, but it's honest too. When he hits, he's not hitting people in vulnerable positions. He's hitting them in legal positions, and when he does, he goes through people. He plays the game hard.
Going back to Broberg, he obviously put on 12 pounds, as you mentioned.
Yep.
What have you noticed from his game that's a little different now that he has that added size?
Well, I think what Philip should feel real good about his year last year. He spent, I saw him in the American League. I saw him grow before my eyes every day. And then when I saw him in the National Hockey League, I saw progress. So I think for him at this level, it's feeling comfortable, understanding what a good shift looks like, understanding you don't have to break the game open every shift. And for me, he's someone that, every day he's gaining more experience. It allows him to be more comfortable. He's going to be a good hockey player for the Edmonton Oilers organization over a long period of time.
There's certain, experiments you want to try in training camp, and then I'm sure there's others you just want to see and get the guys right together. Nurse and Cece, you and Dave played them a lot down the stretch together against a lot of tough minutes. Are you expecting a similar start to the season with those two in a similar role?
Yes. Yeah, I am comfortable with that. I think both of those players relish that. And, they're not in the game tonight, but you should expect to see them soon in a preseason game.
So is Broberg penciled in on this team, or does he still have to win a job?
Well, I think, Ken's done a really good job of setting the standard of earning the jersey here in Edmonton. I think there's some good battles playing themselves out here in training camp, and I think our back end is no different than what's going on up front, which is there's some healthy competition going on, and Philip, as I said, he's going to be a good player for our organization over a long period of time. But it's it's incumbent upon him to have a good game tonight and then build on that going forward.
Got a good game going here.
Good. Thanks,
Jay.